Welcome to the Financial Literacy Program. This is the recap edition brought to you by WeCARE's program, as well as Will Way Community Enrichment Corporation. And it is truly a delight to be with you all on here today. Just want to introduce you guys to the facilitator, yours truly. I am Renix Graham. I am the financial literacy facilitator and a business entrepreneur, senior field manager in a financial service industry of 9 years of experience as a financial strategist. I am licensed in multiple states in the healthcare insurance industry, the life insurance industry, and as well as the retirement industry as well. And it is once again a joy to be with you all on today. We're going to cover the agenda regarding our recap. We'll be talking about budgeting and money management. We'll also be covering the 4%, the 6%, and the 8% rule. And also we'll be talking about financial planning, how to plan for your financial future. Very crucial bullet point there. All right. We're going to start with money management. The meaning of money management. Money management, it encompasses the practices of budgeting, saving, investing, spending, and generally supervising the use of funds by individuals or by groups. It could be by one person, or it can be by a group of people, or business, or a franchise, or a corporation. And so it can also specifically denote investment management and portfolio oversight as well. And the question is, how can a budget manifest? How do we budget? And that's the common question. There's really no such thing as a silly question. There are those who may not know the true concept of budgeting and even how it works. And so there's three ways in terms to how to budget, three components. It's the surplus, it's the balance, and also it is the deficit. Surplus is more, balanced is equal, deficit is less. And so a budget, it represents a financial plan highlighting the balance between income and expenses. We would call it the debt to income ratio. And so it outlines the choices made when allocating resources between different goods and services. And so regarding its impact, a budget can manifest in three ways. Once again, the surplus, the balance, and also the deficit. And we're just going to break down the specific definition of the budget manifestations. So the budget surplus, as mentioned earlier, this condition arises when income exceeds the expenditures. That means it's a lot, and it's more than what you expected, what you intended, which is a good thing. You know, we would want either equal or you would want more. The balanced budget, this scenario occurs within the financial planning or budgeting when total expected revenues equal total planned expenditures. So it's not less, it's not more, but it's equal enough to take care of your debts, to take care of your overhead. And then you have the budget deficit. Okay, a deficit rises when a government's spending surpasses its revenue, serving as a critical measure of a country's financial health. So we're talking about government as just one of the examples, but budget deficit not only occurs just in the government aspect, but also at home, based on your finances. When you're looking at your bills versus your income that comes in, even when it comes to calculating numbers in a business, when it's time to do some calculating data, when it's time to calculate those things, they'll see whether we have a budget surplus more than what we expected, or it will be a budget balance, equal amount, or a budget deficit. So that's how that works in different other aspects, in addition to the government spending business, the way they work. All right. Now we're going to talk about the rule, just recapping on what we discussed regarding the rule. All right. That is the 4%, 6%, I believe was the 8% rule, and the history of that. Who came up with that rule? Okay. That's by a man named William Bill Benjamin. He is the creator of the 4% rule. And so the 4% rule was originally crafted as a conservative measure to conserve the money, to conserve what you have saved up for, rather than blowing all your money living a lavish life in retirement, and then you're not having any more money, and living by way of conservation or moderately will allow for you to conserve some money, be able to build up a little interest in your retirement, but be able to spend carefully, spend conservatively, in moderation. And a more realistic figure, rather than 4%, some may say 4% is not enough. I need a little bit more regarding my income at retirement. The more realistic figure would be 5%. And so with that percentage, the way the model is designed, you can always increase or decrease your percentages based on what you can afford, right? Mind you, even in retirement, you're still going to take care of your expenditures, your bills, your overhead is still going to be there. Bills are not going anywhere. But perhaps you say, okay, I'm making a lot more, or I have enough saved in my retirement. Maybe I want to adjust it from 4% to 5%. You can do that, or adjust it to 6% or 7% or 8%. And it says record shows that using this rule, your retirement portfolio is expected to last a minimum of 30 years. So it's a nice little great deal of time, but it may not be enough. Or let's say if you lessen or lower or decrease the percentage, that it can extend past 30 years. It just depends on how you would adjust the calculation based on the percentages there. All right, so here are the advantages and also the disadvantages of the 4% rule, the 5% or 6% or 7% rule. The advantage, we'll start with the advantage side. The advantage is it increases probability of lifetime savings. So of course, the more you save, the more you use moderation, there is a potential where you'll be able to receive lifetime income, lifetiming for the rest of your life, and you'll be able to live comfortably. It is effective when consistently adhered to, when it's consistently taken care of or managed or watched or supervised based on what you have. When you're careful about your funds, just like your health or whatever is most important to you, same applies to your retirement. When you are consistently watching over it and making sure that everything is in right standings within your budget. Remember, budget surplus, budget, the equation of the budget and the deficit, same thing in retirement. If it's adhered to carefully, then you can be able to live and be able to reap the advantages of that. Offers a predictable, stable income stream as well. When you talk to your retirement specialist, hello there, they'll be able to show you this is what your income will look like by putting this amount away. All right. And then when you retire at the specific age, this will be your guaranteed withdrawal percentage. You will have a percentage based on how much you will be receiving either annually or monthly. The disadvantages of the rule is that savings longevity is not guaranteed, which is true. There's a lot of changes based on the way the government works or the way Social Security works. There's a lot of different adjustments, different policies and procedures based on the retirement investment company you may be investing with as well. It may not be suitable for a retiree. That's true. It may not be guaranteed, may not be suitable, may not be enough, may not be enough income, may not be enough saved or enough time to save. There's some disadvantages there as well. And there is a risk of depleting funds prematurely. That happens quite often. I've witnessed that, and it's not a pleasant experience, having to find different ways. And in those cases, people are ended up having to work for the remainder of their life because their funds are depleted prematurely, especially when your retirement has not adhered to and not supervised there as well. Okay. All right. Some more pros and cons here. Also within the 4% rule, it's simple to follow, really easy to follow. The math is pretty easy. And for those who are interested in the 4%, 5%, 6% rule, if you want to understand a little bit more further, we'll give you all the contact information. We'll be glad to sit down with you and just show you how that works. That's how we do it. All right. Also, it provides a predictable, steady income. It safeguards against running out of money in retirement. The cons is that it demands strict adherence without flexibility or lifestyle changes. It also relies on a worst case scenario of portfolio performance And some argue that a 5% rather than a 4% withdrawal rate may be more realistic case scenario. So just going back to the cons, on the con side, that when it's talking about the adjustment of that percentage, the 4% rule was created, but once again, the purpose of that is for conservation, conservative income, conservative savings as well, right? It's not for everybody. It's not guaranteed for everybody. And they say 4% is not enough. I'm gonna be honest with you, 4% is not enough for me if I were to retire. So I would consider maybe a 5%, maybe a 7%, maybe 8%. It just depends on my cost of living and also taking care of my family as well. All right. So those, once again, are the pros, and that's also the cons of the 4% rule. All right. Now, many of us have financial goals, and there's real value into just taking the time to define and assess your financial goals. And so a crucial component of any financial plan is having well-defined goals. And this might encompass objectives such as financing your children's college education. Kids got to go to college, babies need to learn, purchasing a bigger home. Hey, I'm outgrowing this apartment complex. I want to be able to get out of this apartment unit, be able to live comfortably in a home. Launching a business. Hey, I have the gifts, I have the tools, the concepts and strategies to be able to better serve my community and my business. Hey, I want to be able to save for that. What are my goals for doing that? Retiring as planned, or creating a legacy for your family or your future to come and generations to come. There are many, many, many different goals, and there's many different ways to do that. And so while no one can dictate the order in which you should prioritize these goals, a qualified financial planner can assist in developing a comprehensive saving strategy and targeted investment plan to help you achieve each of these goals sequentially. So having someone like a retirement specialist, like a financial planner, such as a CPA, a certified public accountant, those are the ones that will be able to help you take a look at your portfolio and say, hey, this is where you may need to allocate some of your investments. Maybe you want to consider putting a little bit more into this, maybe a little bit more into that. And so once again, if you have any questions on that, if you need some financial planning, some financial guidance, this is what we're here for. Once again, we'll be glad to share our contact information in this segment as well. The advantages of having a financial plan. There's always, I'm telling you, there's always a benefit to having a financial plan. The old saying goes that no one plans to fail, but they fail for a lack of a plan. And it's important to have a plan in place. Okay, so here are the advantages. One of them is it sets both short-term and long-term financial goals, providing clarity on the steps you need to take to be able to achieve them. That's one of the advantages, and that's how that works by having a financial plan. It works. Definitely it works. Also, having a financial plan prioritizes immediate action, such as reducing debt and accumulating emergency savings to stabilize your financial base. So by prioritizing, it definitely invokes immediate action. It definitely you'll develop a burning desire, a motivated and inspired to say, hey, this is what I want to push for. Also, the advantages of financial planning, it increases the likelihood of reaching significant financial milestones and achieving success as you define it. So as you're going along the way, creating those milestones, you begin to feel better. And when you are consistent at budgeting right, make sure you having your percentage rule in place, diversifying your portfolio, getting with a financial planner. That's how you have good sustainability with your financial health. And the plan serves as a roadmap for your efforts, offering a framework to track your progress over time. And by maintaining financial discipline, a financial plan can help you avoid financial pitfalls. It also helps reduce stress and anxiety associated with the past financial uncertainties. And that is the benefit of that as well. Also, establishing an emergency cash reserve. That's also an important point and topic as well. By allocating a portion of your cash flow to gradually build an emergency fund in a readily accessible account, it aims to save enough to cover at least 6 months worth of expenses, ideally extending it to 12 months to safeguard against periods of income loss resulting from unforeseen circumstances. Things happen. The economy may take a huge dip and decline. Businesses may close down. People may lose their jobs. And when you lose your job, there's no income, right? Those situations do happen, but having an emergency place, and this is where you will have internal control by putting some funds away as you're getting your income, putting a certain percentage, that's where budgeting comes into play, putting certain percentages into your emergency stash, just enough to sustain you for 6 months or even up to a year, doubling the 6 months, you can be able to live comfortably because you have that in place. You have that in hand. So in case anything happens, you're laid off from your job, not fired, but let's say you're laid off from your job, something that's out of your control. The company is not getting enough revenue and having to lay off people, right? Or just some things comes up and your income goes down. Certain companies, things happen. These are out of your control. But why not, while you have the control to prepare, take control, take advantage of preparing for those type of situations? Because I'm telling you, preparation, that's where things go smoothly when you prepare. You're setting up and you're building up a more smoother future, financial future, by preparing regarding having an emergency cash reserve. And that's the importance of that as well. All right. And so just wrapping up here, once again, this is just a recap of all of what we have talked about. And these are one of the most important topics regarding financial literacy. Is once again, budgeting is important, is crucial for financial success. The 4% rule, it was created for retirement at age 65, minimum age 60, even early age retirement at age 55. Defining financial goals can help secure your financial future. And also use online calculators like www.mycalculators.com for added support. By having that calculator, that will help you gauge and navigate where you're headed regarding your financial direction as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with us to definitely get great enriching information, good topics and stuff like that. We're just grateful to be able to have you all here to join us as well. And once again, for those who may have questions regarding the budgeting, regarding a financial planner, regarding the understanding the deficits and also the surplus, reach out to us, contact us. Our information, as you can see, provided on the screen through Will Way Community Enrichment Corporation. That is willwaycec.org. Also, you can email us, contact@willwaycec.org as well. You can also follow us on some of the social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and even on YouTube as well. All right. And so to learn more about WeServe and WeCARE's program, you can also visit WeServe at WeServeVA. They are on Facebook and also on Instagram as well. They have so many wonderful resources provided there: food distribution, emergency shelter and disconnection prevention, employment support and resume readiness, personal development, financial literacy. WeCARES is loaded with good enriching resources for you all as well. So definitely check them out as well, www.weserve.org. And I want to take this moment to give a shout out and thank you to Mr. Eugene McCowan over WeCARES, the CEO of WeCARES. Thank you for allowing us to be able to partner with you and to provide the financial literacy programs that we have for you all as well. So thank you, Mr. McCowan. We do appreciate you for that. All right. We also would love to hear from you. Definitely reach out to us. Feel free to take the survey. It only takes 2 minutes. We love to hear your feedback. We'd love to hear more of, any certain things or topics that you may want to talk about, some things you may be stuck on regarding financial literacy. Reach out to us as well. We'd be glad to hear from you. And that way we can better serve you as well. All right. Well, you all, thank you so much. That is all I have for today. Thank you for joining us, and we will talk with you soon. Have a great, wonderful day, y'all.